What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners video. Today's 13-game MLB main slate, courtesy of Awesemo.com. And we had ourselves a little day off yesterday thanks to the wacky scheduling that MLB had. But right now, let's get back on track today. It's Friday, our last video of the week, so like this one and leave a comment down below. Give me a double dong pick. We got 13 teams on the slate today. I'll make it hard on you guys. If you are correct, I'll give you a shout out on Monday's video. But for right now, like this video, jump into the comments, and I will, of course, come in there later today to talk with you guys. The first corner I want to hit on today are the top pitchers on today's slate. And Chris Sale is going to be a very popular option. He's looking likely to be a top-owned guy industry-wide with 3.4 implied runs in his favor, 45% ownership projected on DraftKings, 40% projected on FanDuel, 59% on Yahoo. Sale's been performing at a diminished level so far in 2019 with drops from 12.9 Ks per nine to just 9.6 Ks per nine, as well as a 15.1% swing strike rate that's down to 12%, a 2.62 xFIP that's down to 4.3, and a whip that's up from 0.95 to 1.4. 27% aggregate K rate in a White Sox lineup will help out Sale, but Sale may be worth some leverage stacks going the other way. He's been fine this year. He looks like he's due to get better, but for right now, he hasn't shown a lot yet. I think it may be a spot here because of the ownership on Sale. The White Sox may be able to get to him. I think it's a situation here where the White Sox stack does look pretty interesting as leverage. James Paxton at home versus Minnesota gets 3.3 implied runs for him, which is the lowest on the slate, and he projects for significantly less ownership than Chris Sale. Minnesota's lineup is dangerous power versus left-hand pitching with a 248 ISO, and everybody besides Marwin Gonzalez is hitting in the lineup. The Paxton's 13.2 Ks per nine in 2019 are the best on the slate. It's going to be a tough matchup for him, tougher than the White Sox matchup for Sale. I think Paxton has the stuff, and he's been showing it so far this year in a way that Sale hasn't. Joe Musgrove going against Oakland gets 3.8 implied runs for him. He's going to have comparable ownership to Paxton due to his pricing being down. The game is currently a weather risk with heavy rain in Pittsburgh, but Musgrove has pitched well in 2019 with a 0.89 whip and a 12.6% swinging strike rate. And Oakland also hasn't offered much power versus right-hand pitching with a 146 ISO, so I don't mind going to Musgrove here. It's not a bad spot for him, but the weather really is a concern right now. I'm not planning on having a ton of him because I think this game has a decent chance of being rained out, but for now, Musgrove is going to be a popular option and one worth considering. The next corner I want to hit are the top stacks on the slate. The Tampa Bay stack going against Dan Straley will be a popular one today. They get 5.7 implied runs in their favor, and the stack is likely to be the highest owned industry-wide. Straley's 7.04 xFIP, 8% home run rate, and 53.5% fly ball rate are the worst on the slate. And Baltimore's bullpen also is amongst the worst in the league right now. A top four of Brandon Lau, Tommy Pham, Ji-Man Choi, and Yandy Diaz is the most appealing, but guys like Avisail Garcia and Mike Zunino also have ISOs above 209. A lot of ways you can stack this lineup, a lot of reasons to go here because Dan Straley's been so bad. I like Tampa Bay quite a bit, and I think they're going to come up a lot for you when you're optimizing lineups today. A Philly stack versus Jeremy Hellickson also looks pretty good today with 5.4 implied runs in their favor, and Hellickson hasn't missed bats well at all this year with a 5.6% swinging strike rate and just 5.4 Ks per nine. Hellickson does limit hard contact, but Philly has the ability to load the bases with Hellickson's 1.66 whip, and Philly getting on base at a 344 clip versus right-hand pitching so far this year. A lot of guys who can get on base in this lineup, a lot of guys who also can knock guys in if guys are on base, so I think it's a spot here where one-offs and stacks both make sense. And a Cincinnati stack going against Tyler Beede is another option that should come up a bit today as a stack. They're getting 4.4 implied runs here, and they are pretty affordable versus Beede, a guy who has a 2.22 whip and a limited sample size going back to last year. The Reds are also getting top prospect Nick Senzel in there, one of the guys who's really regarded as a top 10 guy by pretty much every prospect ranking organization out there. He's expected to be in the two-hole, but also Joey Votto, Yasiel Puig are among many solid values for this team, who seem overdue for some positive aggression. They've been bad on the year, but Beede, a guy who can get hit, so it seems like a spot here where Cincinnati could get back on track. Now on to some of the lower-owned options on the slate. In a game between Arizona and Colorado, and Coors seems really low-owned so far today. They're getting 5.4 implied runs for Arizona and 5.6 implied runs for Colorado. But the stack's ownership is under 5% currently projected. An Arizona stack going against Tyler Anderson looks more appealing to me, but Robbie Ray is a little more likely to miss bats versus Colorado. Both sides, though, seem under-owned in a positive hitting environment. Both pitchers can be gotten to, Tyler Anderson and Robbie Ray, two guys who can give up dangerous power. Being in Coors is also going to help them out quite a bit here. I think these stacks should be more owned than they are, even though they are going to be priced up quite a bit because of the opportunity being at Coors. Kevin Gausman at Miami also looks pretty good to me with 3.6 implied runs going against him and a reasonable price versus a Miami team with a 27.9% aggregate K rate. Miami's hung in tough versus tough pitchers recently, but Gausman has the stuff to make it hard on them with a 12.9% swinging strike rate and a slate best 38.4% chase rate. He's getting guys to chase things out of the zone. He's getting some swinging strikes. These are all things that are going to help out versus Miami. I think just because the Cleveland pitchers got burned a little bit so far in this past week doesn't mean that Gausman can't get there. Different player, different situation. I think it's a good time to go to him today. Clayton Kershaw at San Diego also looks pretty good here with 3.4 implied runs for him going against the San Diego lineup with a slate high 28.4% aggregate K rate. Kershaw's been looking like vintage Kershaw so far this season, and he actually broke the 100 pitch threshold with a 31.4 fantasy point 8K effort versus Pittsburgh. It's a pitcher's park here in San Diego, and not many hitters to worry about in the lineup make him a viable pivot to some of the other higher priced guys. Again, guys like Chris Sale, guys like James Paxton are going to be really highly owned today. Kershaw might be in the best spot out of all of them, and he's going to be really low owned. So I think think it's a good time to have some of them in at least a few lineups. Boston stack versus Reynaldo Lopez also seems low owned to me, especially with these guys' prices coming down a bit. The spot here with 4.6 implied runs isn't the best, but Lopez is allowing a 58.6% fly ball rate so far in 2019, as well as 10.3 hits per nine. As I mentioned, the Red Sox are priced down due to not hitting to their potential so far this year, but it's a fine spot to turn around with guys like Benintendi, Betts, JD Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, and Michael Chavis all over a 129 WRC plus versus right-hand pitching. Lopez isn't good. The Red Sox are good. They haven't shown it as much as they can so far this season, but this is a good spot versus Lopez to show their full power, even on the road. The next corner I want to hit on is some of the one-offs I like the most on the slate, and Ketel Marte going against Tyler Anderson appeals to me quite a bit. He's priced up, but he's in cores with a 317 batting average, 373 on-base percentage, and the 155 WRC plus, as well as just an 11.5% K rate versus left-hand pitching. Anderson can strike guys out, but Marte seems less inclined to get struck out. He's going to put balls in play. I think that's all you need in cores, so I don't mind paying up for him because I think he has the potential to have a big day. And again, a surprisingly low ownership. G-Man Choi is going to be a more popular option versus Dan Straley, but he still looks really good to me as a one-off and as part of a stack. He's got a 379 on-base percentage, 244 ISO, and 286 batting average versus right-hand pitching. Straley's allowed a 4.1% home run rate and a 46.7% hard contact rate to lefties going back to last year. So Straley's been terrible this year, but he's been historically bad versus lefties. G-Man Choi in a spot here where he should have some guys on base for him. It's a nice situation here where he's also due for some positive regression in his home run hitting. I think it's a good spot here to go to Choi as a one-off or again, as part of a stack of those Tampa Bay Rays. Bryce Harper going against Jeremy Hellickson also interests me a lot today. Bryce Harper's price is significantly down on DraftKings at 4,600, but he's got a 251 ISO versus right-hand pitching, and Hellickson does allow a 3.7% home run rate to lefties. Again, not a guy who gives up a lot of hard contact, but still a guy who can get taken yard. I think Harper's going to have a good time here, especially if guys are on base in front of him, and I like that price quite a bit on DraftKings. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on today's slate. So right now, like this video, leave that comment down below about your double dong pick. Nobody's hit the double dong so far this year. Again, it's a harder one to do, but when you do hit it, trust me, you'll get the shout out of all shout outs. So like this video right now, leave that comment down below or any questions, and I'll jump into chat later this afternoon to talk with you guys. And use that promo code SWITCHINTOHEDGE to get half off your first month on any package at awesemo.com. All the ownership projections and rankings, all at your fingertips, all the stuff that I reference here, very important parts of building lineups. They're all there for you. We're also going to have more coming up about the release of Fantasy Cruncher Pro and some packages coming out around that, so keep your eyes peeled there. For right now, use that promo code SWITCHINTOHEDGE to get half off your first month on any package. And I'll be back again on Monday with another Four Corners video, so good luck and enjoy your weekend.